Generic greetings and welcome to Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. Today's beverage is a nice coffee black, no sugar. So Red Alert 3 came out in 2008 and was the first Command & Conquer game to have fully enabled co-op in the campaign. So all three campaigns in this game. Normally you've got Allied and Soviet, but in this one you have the Allied, Soviet, and then the Empire of the Rising Sun, Japan. And I remember playing it a lot when it first came out with multiple friends going through the game co-op and really very much enjoyed it. Sadly no longer available because the GameSpy servers have shut down, although I'm guessing that there is a way to get it working. There's normally means and ways. Now, I've recently been going back through the game, so I'm not particularly nostalgic for this because A, it's not old enough for me to have any nostalgic feelings about it, but also, as I said, I've been playing back through it again. I've just finished the Allied campaign. There's the Soviet first, then the Allied, and then the Empire of the Rising Sun campaigns, and the one thing I can say about this entire thing is that even to this day, 12 years after its release, it is still infinitely playable. It honestly feels like a proper modern title. If we go to options and settings, you can see we do have it at a 2K resolution. I'm guessing it goes up before, but I really have no idea. And it's still a very decent looking game. Either way, let's go to Versus and to Skirmish and I'll show you a little bit of the game. Now, I've already set up some of the options here. I'm going to set up the Team 1 and 2, 3. There we go, that should be fine. So myself and another Allied force are on the same team. And then we have the Soviets and the Empire of the Rising Sun on another one. We've got default option for resources and we will click Begin. Now, I don't particularly have any sort of nostalgic.
Commander Lisette here. Nice to see a friendly face. Well, shall we?
So there is our friend over on the top there. She's taking the top flank there, and we're going to start building. Now, there's a couple of differences from this game and the other ones in the series. Mainly the way you gather resources, which is sort of a bit like the way Generals did it. So in Generals, you had these pickup points like doors and stuff that will pick up the resource and move them back and forward, and it's pretty much what you've got here. So you've got these ore mines that are on either side, whereas is the original sort of first two, and including obviously the Tiberium series, you pick up big like lumps of either Tiberium or gold in Red Alert series, which is what you would gather. Normally you'd have lumps of gold on the ground with like a screw that's like outputting it all, and also gems as well, but they've got rid of that and now you just click you get ore from this ore mine. I'm guessing that's just for simplicity. It also gives them a bit more freedom for the maps. But anyway, what I'm doing now is going to make some peacekeepers here, and we'll put the point there. We'll say let's build a minigun turret. We'll go for probably another ore refinery to go down the bottom there. Now what I want to do is head to the left hand side because I know that the enemy will be sending stuff towards, because it is actually not dumb at all, this AI. So what I'm doing is building a multi-gunner turret as well as a couple of these peacekeepers, because I'm going to station them inside the buildings, but the main reason is the multi-gunner turret I'm going to place there.
Hey look, it's a noob in training. Tell you what, I'll keep one arm behind my back.
Thank you. So, we know that the Empire of the Rising Sun faction is on the left-hand side there. So, it looks like she's actually going to attack. I'm just going to go for a bit of a turtle up at this stage. I'm also going to have to build another power plant. So yeah, we've got these multi-gunner turrets, and you can put things in it. So you can put units in it. So it's a bit like the IFV from...
They sent vermin like you to try and stop me? What is this, joke?
Yes, very much so. So yeah, the infantry fighting vehicle used to be able to replace. So you used to build and then put units in it, and you put an engineer in it, would be able to repair things. You put a spy in it, it would change up as well. You put a dog in it, it would get a set of speakers and such. That was the infantry fighting vehicle, and they've ran with that concept in this game where you've got these multi-gunner turrets. So you put you have no one inside it at all, and you'll get just the 3 rockets, so anti-air and anti-vehicle. You put a shotgun guy in, the peacekeeper, you get some shotguns, and you can put all manner of people inside it. So I like the way that they've ran with that one, and that's something that the Allied forces tend to have quite a bit of. Let's build, probably, I don't need another power plant. I think, actually, no, we will build another power plant, and then we're going to go for some Vindicators here. We also have the option to get these top secret protocols, so the more you fight and level up, again, this is sort of a thing that's been taken from Generals. You can get different things like, for example, this surveillance sweep, and we'll go for sweep left, right to left, and I'm going to see what their base is like. Let's just place this power plant down the bottom, and nope, that's in a weird spot. And there is the base. We can see, yep, they are building stuff, and yeah, they've got some flak troopers and other stuff there. So they're just going to keep waving towards us. I'm not really too much. I'm not too bothered about what they've got. Let's go for a seaport. But I mean, this game, when you compare it to the second one, and I do genuinely think that well, Red Alert 2 is my favourite of all the Command & Conquer games. I think the art style peak there, I think it was just really good fun. But this one massively expanded upon it. You've got all these sort of protocol powers. You've got 3 full factions. I think it's 11 missions of the 3 campaigns, so it's a really big amount of content there. And also, pretty much everything can be built on water as well. So I mean, there's a lot of game here, and it all just seems to work. Anyway, let's build a... I want to build another prospector, but I'll build it from here. Build it from the oil refinery. Every single unit in the game has either a mode that can swap to or a special ability. So for example, the Vindicator, it's a bit boring. It's just they rush back to base as fast as possible to repair. The guys in here, the building here, these peacekeepers, they have the ability to put a shield up, and they walk slower, but they take a lot less damage, so it allows you to get closer to the enemy. And as I say, every unit in the game has something like that. So I've got an engineer, I've got that sorted. There is my other prospector. And what I'm going to do is use the prospector to set up a forward base here. So they actually go on the water. And while they're doing that, I'll be able to build... Actually, let's build an armory facility, because that would probably be of some use. I'm going to build also some javelin soldiers as well. Looks like some enemy soldiers are in the centre there, and they're going to come this way, which is a bit of a problem because I don't have anyone defending that flank because I'm short-sighted and didn't put any defences there. So we'll see if we can get there in time. Looks like they are sending some forces this way. I'm not really too bothered. Let's get over there. Yeah, the collector's under attack. It's not too much of a problem. Let me build that there. Get these guys in play. Looks like they're actually running away. We'll place a thing there. And you can see they don't really stand much of a chance. Those guys that charge towards, they actually have an ability to draw a sword and do like a quick charge attack. It's really powerful. You think it's an instant death, so you want to stay out of the way of that. So I've got my javelin soldiers, I've got my peacekeepers, and oh, here we got some tank busters, and they have a big ray that really does do a number on the units, and they can actually sink into the ground and take very little damage. But as you've seen, they just ran into my my forward point there. Also, when you build different construction yards and also build like multiple boot camps or whatever, you also get the ability to build them multiple times. So another divergence, instead of just having one build queue, you have multiples. So let's go and place that power plant in there. I'm also going to build another one. I also probably want to build... I don't actually have enough money for the heightened... I need heightened clearance in order to get some more stuff there. But there's me pretty much turtled up now. So I've got this gathering resources. I've got 2 down here gathering resources. I think that's about alright. Oh, so they're actually... Look at that. They're actually shooting my... They're shooting my oil refinery here, so I'm going to head down there. I'm going to set a repairing on that one, which repairing takes a really long time for some reason in this game compared to the other ones. I could send my planes against them, but I think what I'll do is actually do a sweep. I'll put these as... do you want to actually assault those guys? There we go. So I'm going to send these over. I want to see... Ah, there we go. They've got some stuff I could probably destroy. Yeah, there we go. And there's an attack. Right, okay, so I've managed to destroy the barracks, which is good. So that's all sorted. Oh, it looks like they have... Is that a terror drone? I think they've got a terror drone inside that. I'm going to have to build another one of those. So they've actually got past. Where? Yeah, is it? Yeah, there it is. There's the terror drone. Wow. So they managed to get a terror drone in play, which is no good. Let me run over there and destroy it. We'll have a zoom in to see what it looks like. Yeah, there it is there. It's just... defending there. I'm actually going to stop building that, because if I build another one, it's just going to get absolutely destroyed. So I've managed to upgrade to the next level, so I now have access to the Guardian tank, so I will get that. Charging over to the right, I'll also get a minigun turret. In terms of sea, I'm going to get a couple of assault destroyers too. It's going to be very expensive here, but there we go. Looks like I've destroyed the terror drone, so that's fine. So I've got a couple of Guardian tanks. I've got a couple of other units on the go. Oh, it looks like we've got some bears swimming through the centre there, and some other things that they're trying to assault me with over here, which is not going to work out for them. In fact, if I place this here, we should be able to fire some rockets over them. There we go. We also have some points here. I'm going to go with advanced aeronautics, which gives us... Oh, I should actually accept that first. Let's confirm that. Advanced aeronautics gives us the option to... Well, it gives us more bombs on here, which is always useful. Let me head these Vindicators over to the left-hand side, so we can do a little bit more damage. I'm going to place that there. Probably another power plant is in order.
Need something out of your way?
And there is, as you can see, a barracks. Now I'm probably going to lose some units here. Let's quickly run. Ooh, that was tough. Like you can see, they're taking a fair bit of damage there. But now we've got these units coming towards us, and they can go in the sea, which is why it's a lot harder to defend your borders, because you have to defend against a lot of things that can go on water. As you can see, there's what's that? Is that a terror drone? It is a terror drone. The terror drone can swim. I did not know that. Anyway, we'll head over here with the hydrofoil. I'm going to go with a weapon jammer. So this is a toggle ability on them. And you toggle to that, and they're assaulting me there again. Okay, so you might think this is a bit of a problem, but the great thing about these guys is they're amphibious, so we actually grow some tracks and start assaulting them here. So a bit actually like Supreme Commander. In that sense, there was a lot of units in that had the capability to go on land. But there you go. These guys have a black hole armor ability. There you are. So this hydrofoil is anti-air, but I've swapped it over, instead of being hydrofoil, to have a beam that stops things firing. So there you are. So I managed to take control of this little inlet. I'm just going to go forward, and we'll be able to do a fair bit of damage there. And you can see that they've got they actually have a fair bit of damage coming back at us, because they've got these flak troopers. You'd think one flak trooper versus a full destroyer would not be very effective, but as you can see, it is quite effective indeed. So it looks like they are still doing some damage to this oil derrick. I'm going to leave it be then. There's no point in spending an inordinate amount of resources to try and get that sorted. I am going to send that over there to destroy that one though. Bombing run is commencing. We're going to go for another airbase, and also now that we have 4 of these Guardian tanks, we also have now the ability to build the Athena cannon and a couple of Mirage tanks, followed by some multi-gunner IFVs. So there we go, that's now built. The reason why I want to build those is Mirage tanks are awesome. And not only that, but the Mirage tanks in this game, back in day, when we were talking about Red Alert 2, the Mirage tanks, we can also build some Proton Collider. I think we can now. Let's get a Spectrum Tower. Yeah, back in the day, you used to have the Mirage tanks, which would sort of stealth up and be very effective against it's mainly an anti-vehicle role, but it could certainly do a bit of damage against infantry. However, the main role said was anti-tank, but you also had the Prism tank, which was anti-everything once it got leveled up, which is why I really, really liked it. It was pretty much borderline overpowered. However, in this game, they've actually combined the two, so the Mirage tank is not only got the Mirage jammer thing around it, so it looks like a tree or a bin or a rock or whatever it's near. It also has the added benefit of having a prism weapon on it, which is really good. It also has a gap generator, which puts this bubble around it and then cloaks everything around it. Basically, it's the every tank. It can do pretty much everything, apart from anti-air. Anyway, how we're doing for funds on either side? I haven't actually built that for the Prospector, which I should probably do. We've got a Prospector in the centre, one down the bottom, and then this one, which is getting built. We've also got another point, which I'm going to go for... high technology, power up special abilities of your dogs, guardian tanks, cryocopters and carriers. I will confirm that then. So we've now got the high technology upgrade, and we can put a target pointer, which is the 90mm smoothbore gun, which is effective against enemy armor. That's the main gun, but we've actually gone with a laser, which gives you more damage as well. So there we are. We also have hero units in the game, so for the allies it is Tanya, as you can see there. We've also got who is it for the Soviets? The Soviets get a sniper. It was Boris in Red Alert 2, but it's someone else now. I can't remember her name, but yeah, that's the sniper for the Soviets. And you've got some sort of psychic schoolgirl for the Empire of the Rising Sun faction. The Empire of the Rising Sun faction is the most interesting, I think, because there's a lot of things that you toggle on them. So we've got these jets here, which are like mecha jets, and they will switch between this, which is their anti-infantry role, and they're very, very effective at it, and they'll be switched between that and anti-air, so very powerful indeed. Looks like we've got some Tesla troopers coming towards us, but with this shotgun tower as well as the prism, they're really not lasting too long at all. So we're currently building a aircraft carrier, and also I do have the option to build some sentry bombers, which are just really, really powerful bombers. I think I'm going to go with, quite frankly, actually no, nothing. I'll wait until this is built, because we're still waiting for a Mirage tank and some multi-gunners. And I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4 javelins, and the reason for that is if you put those into the IFVs, they just become even more powerful. You can see they keep sending units over here, and it's really not, they're not lasting long at all because of this multi-gunner turret. It's how I'm farming a fair bit of damage there. And what is that? Is that the carrier? Oh yeah, the carrier's got a stupid range, so I might as well send them over here and just do a little bit of assaulting on that side. So enemy units detected. Where in the centre there? Yeah, they're taking these areas. But as I said, it's still an infinitely playable game. I don't know how much this is to buy new right now, but I can't imagine it being very expensive. And quite frankly, almost whatever price it is, I think it will be worth it, because you've got a massive campaign. Sadly, the multiplayer site isn't functional, but I mean, are they going to be able to attack me? I don't know. Yeah, it's not, you know, available, but I'm sure there's a way to get it working. I would assume so anyway, perhaps wrongly. And you've also got the bears coming towards us now. I might as well try and assault the bears with the destroyers. That's not working out. Let me get closer. I'm trying to get some line of sight to the point here, and you can see the carrier is absolutely destroying the points there as well, which is good. Why is that taking loads of damage? That's just taking loads of damage, and I have no idea why. Did the bears do it? And oh, good grief, that's all kinds of bad. We've got loads of goo everywhere. What is that? I have no idea what that is. That must be a special ability of some kind. But that's a lot of acidy goo thing all over there, and I've lost 2 javelin soldiers because of that. Let me build a couple more, and I want to get these javelins right down, because we now have a fully functional force here. I'm going to say you get in that IFV, you get in that IFV, you can come down. Looks like we're doing some damage over on the left hand side. Sadly, they now have these flak guys, which is going to stop my carriers. Well, it's not going to stop them launching, but they are going to cause them a lot of damage. And yeah, I can't deal with that guy in that suit, so I'm going to have to pull back there. You can see they are building all sorts there. What's that as well? Oh, that's actually finally some. We've got some air units, so I'm going to swap the hydrofoil out then to have the AA gun, because if that is a helicopter flying around, then that could be all kinds of problematic. So we need to get this other guy into there, and one more into there, and from here we're going to build some sentry bombers, because why not? Also, we'll build a minigun turret. Why not? What haven't I built? I've built pretty much everything I think that I need to, and you can see anything that gets close is getting absolutely shredded by this prism tower. It can, however, get overloaded. Actually, it's not a prism tower; it's a spectrum tower. In the story of the game, Einstein has been killed, so basically there's a lot of tech that you had in the previous game that you don't now. So there's no such thing as nuclear missiles, you don't have anything like that. I think the Soviet current version of their suit weapon is like a magnetic collider or something, or a magnetic beam or something, and oh, good grief. So it looks like this thing got too close to the shore, and it's been infected, so I'm going to have to quickly run back. I might be able to get back in time to repair it, but we'll have to see. I don't need another Assault Destroyer, I don't need a Riptide. Actually, a Riptide is anti-troop, so I might build one of those, because why not? But it looks like my main force has now been assembled, so we will head over this side. Actually, no, let's head it back to the centre and get repaired, because, well, as you can see, we've got a lot of damage on these just all around the place. We get close to this, and it's now getting repaired. I wonder how our other guys doing. They seem to be doing alright. They haven't actually made much progress forward, though, which is a bit of a shame. Let's build a proton collider, and we'll be able to head off to the left now. So I'm hoping that because we've got this big force here, that sadly doesn't stick together. We should be alright. Chrono swap, no. A surgical strike, yes. Chrono Fisher, let's confirm that one. Looks like there's a drone here, and we're going to try and deal with it as fast as possible. You see, it is trying to leg it, and it will successfully leg it. Oh, there we go. There's them bombers. So that must be a special ability. That must be a special ability. Either way, let's head off with these forces. We have got obviously a fairly big force. We don't really have a gap in the line. I think we should be alright. The problem is if we get too close and these things actually come in. If we have the terror drones, that's the one that's going to be a problem. Looks like we've seen that off though. There we go, it's taken off. Okay, I'm going to turn off that because otherwise they will get shot. So we're now assaulting the main base, and we've got their grinder tanks, I think they're called there, but looks like we've taken out... Oh, there's a terror drone. Terror drone out there we go. So, we now have a fairly good assault going. This is pretty much a destruction for them. It's an easy difficulty, so I wouldn't have expected anything else. But we've got our prism... I call them prism tanks. The mirage tanks, sorry, that are clearing stuff up. Our stuff at the back here, which is these Athena cannons, which are able to call down a massive laser. So you can see the little beam, and then you've got this huge one that comes down to absolutely annihilate anything that's there. I'm going to stand back because that is actually a super reactor, but you know, in reality it is actually, I guess a nuclear reactor would be the analogue from Red Alert 2, and when it's destroyed it will go kaboom, which is the technical term for something that does that when it blows up. You can also hear a noise there, and that was an ability that someone used to place a bomb. So it looks like a terror drone. I've got a terror drone in there. I've got a terror drone. What I should have probably done is I should probably have got one of these IFVs with... Good grief, that's really powerful. Yeah, I should have probably got one with the engineering to repair. But it looks like this guy is pretty much out of all units now, I think. And that should be a wipeout for them, so that's pretty good. Back over to here, because I should have really been placed that one there. I don't play these games and never have done competitively. I've never been one for heavy like APM or anything like that, which is why I just like playing the campaigns and the skirmish and that, and there we go, we've now defeated that enemy.
I saw your little tricks that you just pulled.
But I did play Tiberium Sun online and this online a bit, and I found that I think was it the Chrono Bombers? It's the expansion I actually played online, which, strangely enough, the expansion to this, I can't remember what it's called, it doesn't actually have co-op in the campaign, so it mustn't have been received well, or they must have thought that nobody was really that interested. But anyway, I remember playing that online, and there was some really stupidly powerful units, and good grief, it looks like this guy is pretty much turtling up. You can see they're moving forward with all of these things, which is an interesting decision. I'm going to move the bombers here, and we're going to get a surveillance sweep from there to there, just to see what's there. The bombers are on their way. Let me go to the bombers. We can see they're coming along. I will go home and place that there. And, oh, there we go. So we're going to attack with the bombers here. The problem is, you can see they've got loads and loads of units, all of them anti-air. So I don't think I'm going to have any of these bombers remaining once we've finished this bombing run. But there is a big bombing run, and we'll issue any orders left or any bombs left there. And there we go. So we've managed to take a lot out, but the problem is that they've got a lot of air units. Luckily, the air units can't shoot these ones, but if they decide to land, that could be a bit of an issue. Also, as you see, they were charging forward then, and I really don't want to get too close. These things here are horrible. These are like little drones, and they latch on like that, and they stop you from firing, which in a group can be extremely powerful, especially when they do things like that and charge forward like a maniac and get shot. Anyway, so we're taking out all of these little jets, which are currently on the ground mode, which are actually not very good at anything other than anti-infantry roles. So Let's go with a Chrono Rift. Banishes target, makes everything simply vanish for a short while. I'm going to not go with that. Instead, I'll go with a cryo shot, which I will try and cryo shot anything that goes around the back there. Don't think I'm going to manage it, but anyway, let's head up to these ones here. You can see the thing was buried in the ground there. And let's see if we can cause a lot of damage. It looks like we're going to be able to destroy this guy fairly quickly, I think. Most of the units that we would have been worried about have not turned up for whatever reason. Let's bring these guys down. We've still got those to deal with. I'm going to build probably a couple more carriers, a couple of those, and 2 of those. Not I think we really need to worry about most things. I'm going to do a surveillance sweep down the back there, just in case they have anything hiding. It does not like they have. But it looks like this is a pretty easy win. Not that we would expect anything less, being on the same side as another allied faction, and also, you know, being on easy mode. But I really just want to show that this game, it's out there, it's playable, it's more than playable, it's just really good fun. It's got this art style that seems to hold up quite well. It's not cartoony, but it just seems to hold up. I don't know what it is about it. Either way, they're not happy, and we've won. That's a victory. And something just exploded on the left-hand side by the look of it. Oh, that'll be a big chrono bomb. It's one of the things you can upgrade with. And there's a big summary of loads of statistics that you probably don't care about. Either way, that is a tiny bit of Red Alert 3. So far, I have been going through the campaign again, the Soviet and the Allied nations. If you play the Soviet campaign first, you get basically you're treated to you have the treat of watching Tim Curry butcher an accent, which in itself is probably worth the cost of entry. Versus mode, as I said, you've got online there, which hopefully there'll be a way to get it working. I would assume there was, but yeah, really very much liking this. I do still think my favourite is Red Alert 2, but that is the nostalgia and rose-tinted glasses talking. In reality, this is a lot easier to get into and to play. It's really good fun. The campaign's good. FMVs for the win. Yeah, I really do like an FMV. So, yeah, that's Red Alert 3. Looking forward to the remaster of Red Alert, well, the original Red Alert, because I've never really played it, and that will complete the series for me. Only taken nearly 30 years to get around to that one. Either way, if you like what you see, links will be in the description as always. So if you have enjoyed it, thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.